As a cat parent, you've probably noticed that cats have their own set of rules. They're known for doing things their way. But have you ever wondered, do they actually know when they've crossed a line? Can they sense when you're upset after they knock something over or scratch up your favorite furniture? And if so, how do they apologize? Stick around, because in this video, we're diving into the fascinating question: do cats know when they've done something wrong, and how do they react? Let's get straight to it. Do cats understand when they've been bad? The short answer is no. Cats don't have a sense of right and wrong like we do. They don't understand why knocking things off the table or scratching the couch is considered bad. But that doesn't mean they're clueless. Cats are actually quite good at recognizing when their behavior displeases you. They learn through experience that certain actions, like knocking over your drink, make you upset, and they store that information in their memory. Cats can tell when you're angry, mostly by picking up on your body language and voice. A study published in Animal Cognition found that cats are highly responsive to human voices. When you're happy, your tone is friendly and calm, the tone they associate with treats, playtime, or cuddles. But when you're upset, your tone changes, becoming harsher and unfamiliar. This shift lets your cat know something's wrong. In addition to your voice, cats use visual cues to read your emotions. Research from Oakland University shows that cats can distinguish between human facial expressions, like smiling or frowning. Your feline friend notices these subtle changes, and when you start ignoring them or closing doors, they quickly learn what behavior is making you unhappy. So, while your cat may not feel bad the way humans do, they definitely understand when they've upset you, and they adjust their behavior accordingly. It's important to understand that cats don't associate their behavior with morality. Instead, they learn through association. If every time your cat scratches the furniture, you react negatively by scolding them or even ignoring them, they begin to associate that specific action with an unpleasant response. Over time, this association becomes stored in their memory. This is how cats learn to avoid certain behaviors, not because they think it's wrong, but because they want to avoid a negative reaction from you. This brings us to an interesting point. Do cats know how to apologize? We'll dive into that shortly, but first, let's explore how cats react when they accidentally hurt us. Picture this. You're playing with your cat and suddenly, they swat at your hand a little too hard, leaving a scratch. Do they feel bad about it? While cats are incredibly intelligent animals, research suggests they don't experience secondary emotions like guilt, shame, or pride. So no, your cat likely doesn't feel bad for scratching you. But that doesn't mean they're heartless or don't care. Cats act on instinct, and if they hurt you, it's often because they felt threatened or got carried away in the moment. Cats, especially during play, can quickly shift from being gentle to tapping into their predatory instincts. It's not malicious, it's just the way they're wired. So if cats don't feel guilty, why do they sometimes snuggle up to you right after they've hurt you or done something wrong? This is where things get interesting. When your cat notices that you're upset, through your voice, body language, or facial expressions, it can make them feel anxious or uneasy. Cats are sensitive to changes in their environment, and your negative reaction is something they want to fix, not out of guilt, but because they're seeking to restore balance and comfort. Think of it this way. If your cat scratches you and then sees you withdraw or speak in a more irritated tone, they may approach you to soothe the situation. They're not apologizing in the way humans do, but they know that snuggling or rubbing against you will likely get a positive response. Cats are very good at figuring out what gets our attention, and when they know they've upset you, they might try to make it right by doing things they know you enjoy, like cuddling or purring. Are you enjoying this video? If so, please like this video and subscribe to the channel for more cat videos. The aim of this video isn't to make you feel bad about your cat, but to help you recognize signs and improve your bond with your feline friend. Do cats apologize? Now this is a big one. Do cats apologize? The short answer is no. Cats don't have the emotional complexity to feel guilt or remorse, which are necessary for an apology. Apologizing requires understanding that you've offended someone and feeling a desire to make amends. Cats, as adorable as they are, just don't operate on that level of emotional intelligence. However, that doesn't mean they don't care when you're upset. While they may not understand the concept of being sorry, cats are highly in tune with your emotional state. They know when you're angry or sad, and they often try to reconnect with you in ways that they know will get a positive reaction. Your cat might nuzzle you, lick your hand, or meow in that sweet, attention-seeking way. This isn't an apology in the human sense, but it's their way of trying to mend the relationship and get back in your good graces. Interestingly, there are also times when your cat might not react to your displeasure at all. This is usually because they don't feel the need to change their behavior. Maybe they don't see the situation as a big deal, or perhaps they didn't feel your reaction was strong enough to warrant a change. Cats are independent creatures, and sometimes they simply don't feel compelled to make things right if they don't think it's necessary. How do cats apologize to each other? In the feline world, things work a little differently. Cats don't exactly feel guilt when they've wronged another cat, but they do have ways of smoothing over tension. When cats live in a social group, their main goal is to maintain peace and safety. So if two cats have a disagreement, you might notice them making up by grooming each other, sleeping close together, or rubbing heads. This behavior isn't so much about feeling sorry as it is about ensuring that the group remains harmonious and safe. Cats are territorial creatures, and they want to know that the other cats in their space aren't a threat. By grooming each other or showing signs of affection, they can re-establish a sense of security. It's less about making amends for a specific wrongdoing and more about maintaining stability in their social structure. How to apologize to your cat. If you've upset your cat, it's important to approach the situation carefully. Cats need time to calm down after being startled or hurt, so don't rush to make amends. Give them some space and let them come to you when they're ready. When they do, speak to them in a calm, soothing voice. Slow blinking at your cat is also a great way to show them that you're not a threat. It's like the cat version of a smile. Offer treats, pets, or engage them in play to rebuild your bond. Remember, loud noises or sudden movements will only make your cat more anxious, so take it slow. Your cat may not hold on to the negative experience for long, but it's still important to re-establish trust and show them that they're safe with you. Why do cats misbehave? Finally, let's talk about why cats misbehave in the first place. It's easy to assume your cat is acting out of spite when they scratch the furniture or pee outside the litter box, but in reality, there's usually a logical reason behind their actions. Scratching is a natural behavior that helps them keep their claws sharp and mark their territory. So if your cat is scratching your couch, it might be time to invest in a scratching post or trim their nails more regularly. As for peeing outside the litter box, it's often a form of communication. Your cat might be trying to tell you something, like the litter box isn't clean enough, it's in an undesirable location, or they're feeling stressed. In some cases, it can even be a sign of a medical issue, such as a urinary tract infection, so it's important to rule out health problems if this behavior persists. That's it for this video. To learn more about cats, check out our video on 12 disturbing facts about male cats. Make sure to subscribe to our channel for more tips and insights.